Hi guys, in this show we're looking at Cruz, Daniel, Heard, Carpenter, King, Phillips, Wayne and Wayne. We're looking at 2004's White Chicks.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of 100 Things We Learned from Film. I'm one of your hosts, my name's Planty, and I'm a beautiful chocolate man.
And I'm John, and I'm white chocolate.
Sexual chocolate. I believe the children are our future.
Still funny,
oh
man.
Man, it's still so funny.
So good. That's why I dread seeing the second one, because the first one is so
I've
good.
seen it. It's mince,
Nah,
mate. Absolute mince. I think I've said this on the air, and listeners will go, "Yeah, you said this a fucking year ago." Because they're all cockneys. They're all get out of my pub. Just a supercut of your man Snipes. He's brilliant in it. He's fantastic. Yeah. He's the best thing in it by a country mile. Just supercut him. That's all you need. We are the podcast that takes a different film every week and tries to find out 100 things from that film. John, what are we covering this week?
So we're covering ourselves in white paint and gone for 2004's White Chicks.
Okay. Right, I am going to put this out there before we start. If you're white and you've got a problem with this film, we are not the podcast for you. Very simply. Very, very simply.
Yeah.
Right?
It's too funny. It's too funny.
It was. You know what? I have not watched this. People have been bothering me to watch this for fucking donkeys, and I had no intention of ever watching it. And I watched it, and I had a whale of a time. So you know what? I watched it again.
Not even for notes, just for fun.
Oh yeah, well, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. 2004, John. What have we done in 2004?
Well, if our good listeners listen to our Dawn of the Dead episode, they'll find out.
Oh, episode 4. Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, that was a good episode, wasn't it? I think we'd really just about got into our swing of
it. We got there. I still think we need to do the Crow justice, but yeah, we got their swing.
We will do the Crow justice. We're 70 odd episodes in now, John. So we're only 30 odd. We're only 28, 30 episodes away from doing the Crow, and I'm sick of saying we're going to do the Crow. We will just do it.
We'll just do it. Cool.
That's what will happen. Okay, you ready to get started on this one?
I am ready to rumble, brother.
Okay, smashing stuff. I've got some notes. Let's gan. Okay, so the film starts. It's a Columbia Pictures movie. You know, Jon Bird holding the fucking torch.
Yep.
Yep. That actual model, Jenny Joseph, a homemaker and mother of 2 children, now living in the Houston area. She was an exceptionally gracious and unassuming model and received very little compensation for her work in 1992.
What?
I know.
Yeah. It's a hell of a way, isn't it?
So we begin. The film, we're in New York City. It's been a while, John. We've been away for a while, haven't we?
We've been away to New York.
And it's hot New York, right? And we're in this bodega. Okay, so we zoom into this bodega. This pair of old boys, these kind of Cubanos, Latinos.
Yeah,
I was kind of, okay. And they're shouting in this faux Spanish. And potentially this might have been considered a little racist, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
And
they rubbed a bit of funk on it, didn't they? Because as they've gone through the whole salsa thing, I'm sure I heard some MC Hammer. Did you?
I did, yeah, I did. Because he does get us this, doesn't he? He's like, Hammer time.
So I took the liberty of looking up MC Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of blew my mind. So MC Hammer, American rapper, entertainer, and dancer. His net worth at the moment is $2 million.
Okay.
At the peak of his career in the 1990s, Hammer's personal fortune topped $70 million, but in 1986, Hammer filed for bankruptcy because he couldn't afford his extravagant lifestyle. I mean, the guy was worth $70 million, but he couldn't afford to sustain his extravagant lifestyle. Absolutely amazing.
That's brilliant that you should mention that, because later on in the film, there's a line, are we MC Hammer broke? He's like, yes, MC Hammer broke. Yeah, so basically he went bankrupt. And I had that a little bit later on, so I'll give you that one, John. You beat me to it.
Cheers, mate.
Hammer Time, of course, You Can't Touch This, is a song co-written and produced and performed by MC Hammer from his 1990 album Please Hammer Don't Hurt 'Em, and is considered to be his signature song. Along with Hammer, Rick James shares songwriting credits. Rick James, bitch! With Alonzo Miller, because the song samples the prominent opening riff of Super Freak. Of course it does.
God, so it says.
Yeah. It's a funny one, that. It's one of those. It's almost like as if your man Vanilla Ice didn't rip off.
Queen?
Yeah. Yeah, because his. No, don't jump. It's not the same thing. Because theirs goes dum 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 da da dum dum, and his goes dum 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 da da dum dum dum. Fuck off.
Sorry, mate.
Fuck off, Rob Van Winkle.
I forgot that one, dumb.
He's named after a man who fell asleep for 100 years. What a twat. It's been used in films, commercials, and other forms of media and received awards and recognitions. The song's notable as the first rap song to be nominated for Record of the Year at the 33rd Annual Grammy Awards in 1991, as well as Best Rap Video and Best Dance Video at the 1990 MTV Music Awards. Peaked at number 1 in the Billboard Hot R&B Hip Hop Singles and was on the charts in 7 different countries.
Wow.
Loads about that.
It was a cracking song, though. I loved it.
Hammer Time is also an American board game, which comes with this little tiny hammer.
Hence the name.
Time to hammer the donuts. Exactly. He later sings, it's like, as he's going on, and they've got these cigars, haven't they?
Yeah.
The mouths are kind of like, they just look like every kind of old Cuban boy that I saw when I was there. And he's singing Guantanamera, right? I think it's probably one of only about 4 songs every fucking band in Cuba does. Like, they come into a bar or they come into a fucking place where there's drinks, and they always do the same fucking 4 or 5 songs. The Buena Vista Social Club, it is not, mate, I'll tell you. But Guantanamera is the country's most noted patriotic song. It's used as a poem by Cuban poet Jose Marti, who we talked about, the statue in Central Park during the Home Alone 2.
Home Alone, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. The official writing credits have been given to a guy called Josito Fernandez, who first popularised the song in radio as early in 1929. In 1966, a version by American vocal group The Sandpipers, based on an arrangement by The Weavers, basically this is just jobs, for their May 1963 Carnegie Hall reunion concert, became an international hit. It's really, really good. It features a fair bit in that Buena Vista Social Club documentary, which I love. And it's just all the beautiful Cubas. It was the Cuba I wanted to see, the Buena Vista Social Club Cuba, and I did get to see it. The Havana I got to see. It was great.
Happy days. Yeah,
of course. But I don't go on about it. Like the miners' strike, I don't go on about it. These ice cream men turn up, right? And they do a deal for, inverted commas, ice cream. Now, they're proper, like, Russian bad bastards, aren't they?
Yeah. In today's climate, it's bad to look that way, to be honest, isn't it? It's like, stereotypical Russians.
Yeah, and your man's going, yeah, it is the ice cream and everything. And he says, okay, look, here's the money, and he opens this case of money and spins it around. Obviously, they're doing a drug deal. That's the kind of the thing they're getting at. And your man says, okay, bring in all the ice cream. And as they kind of go to get all the ice cream, they basically go, it's the feds, pull the wigs off. Feds, they arrest them.
It's yours. Yeah.
And they basically fight them out, don't they? Batter them into submission for the drugs that are in there. And it turns out it's just vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, and all the while the real dealers come in.
Yeah, again, this guy looks like the juggernaut, doesn't he? He comes in, I'm the juggernaut, bitch. Yeah, and he comes in.
We'll come back later.
Yeah, and that's kind of there's a big shootout and they get away.
Yep.
The chief comes in. I like the chief. I think the chief's a lot of fun
He's
in
done a
this.
few things, aye. He's done a few
He
things,
is
hasn't
in
he?
fucking everything.
Everything,
Again,
aye.
it's a man that is just consistently working, and I'm all for that. I love
I,
a job in actor.
I thought he was a chief that was an iRobot until I realised I was an absolute racist and it wasn't him.
Okay, that's fair enough. It's funny because I thought he was the chief out of the Arnold film, where it's the meta Arnold film, Last Action Hero,
Oh, right, okay.
and then I realised I'm the same. It's just
Yeah, that's just
it's
the way
not
it is,
the
isn't it?
case.
Because it's just
Yeah.
the chief, and it's just the chief.
It's just exactly. Am I the comic relief? Is that a film I need to revisit, by the way? Because that's an Arnold one that never did anything for me.
Nah, well, actually, it might be worth a visit again. I think it was massive production, wasn't it? At the
Yeah,
time. And
yeah.
it's got Charles Dance in it. You can't go wrong with
I
Charles
knew
Dance.
I knew you were going to go with Charles Dance. Have a nice day, John.
You know I love a good dance.
Always up the dancing, you.
I see the gumball machine at the back. That's no saying
Oh,
a
I
gumball
did. I've seen
machine.
one of those.
Absolute
Yeah.
ages. So I was looking them up. Apparently, they were introduced back in 1709 by. It was created by Thomas Adam Gumco.
I was going to say Jeff Gumball, but it really was Mr. Gumball.
That was Mr. Gum anyway. Adam's Gum.
Barney Gumball. Hey,
That'd have been better.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, but it is what it is. You can't. I'm not going to ask you to change the guy's name. Not like I discovered today, listening to Modern Escapism. Thanks to the always funny, very Yorkshire Oodles, explained that that Seabrooks crisps. You know Seabrooks crisps. You get those in Scotland. The ridged crisps. They're a Yorkshire.
Oh
crisp.
yeah, sorry, yeah.
Fucking heathen. Those are the Seabrooks, which is a Bradford company. His name was actually, I think, Charles Brooks. But when he was getting some photographs developed, the guy had written Seabrooks as in the word sea, for the sea, and Brooks. And that's when he opened his first chip shop and called it Seabrooks.
Oh, well, why not?
There you go. In fact, I'm going to fucking add that.
What's that in, eh?
Why not indeed, bruv? There you go. Thanks. Go and listen to Modern Escapism, a much better podcast than what we've got, lads. I'll tell you. They're always supportive.
Did you see the size of the ice cream vans as well?
I did, yeah.
So I was looking this up. They're at least 5 feet longer than yours one because they were absolutely. Because at first I thought they were food trucks from. Remember we done chefs.
Chef, yeah.
But I looked them up. But that's their sort of standard sizes.
Okay.
It's a big unit.
That was a big unit, yeah. It looked like it was going to be delivering UPS stuff, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did.
The boys had Crema Lita on their shirts and on the van, and it's an actual product, Crema Lita, low-calorie frozen delights. Their advert suggests.
It's not a froyo, is it?
It is not
froyo.
I could probably do with cutting out the ice cream and having the froyo. Yo.
But you won't know.
Will I? Fuck. You are joking, aren't you? I work too hard to be healthy. The chief basically mentions that they fucked up the job with their renegade ways, which I liked. We learned that they're called Marcus and Kevin. I didn't have many problems with this film, okay? But here was my first one. Right. Marcus's wife. I think she was called Gina.
Yes. Yeah.
Who was not a character, but was a cartoon in the film.
It was,
okay?
it was stereotypical. It's like, she was a leech.
Needy. He's like, oh, baby, I can't talk. Baby, I can't talk. And he puts the phone down. I'm with the chief. I can't talk. We're in trouble. And then the chief's phone rings, which I liked a lot. And he's like, yeah, he's with me. He passes How has she got the chief's number?
I know.
It was kind of good.
It got worse when he got home, didn't it?
It did get worse when he got home. Yeah, he'd finished work and they went for a drink, and he left the bar at 7:30.
And it took him 9 minutes to get home, remember right? But she looked on something called MapQuest.
She did look on MapQuest. You tell me.
So I looked at this. We've been Neanderthals for years, right? So I looked up sat navs.
Right.
So sat navs were introduced in 1995. MapQuest is an American free online map service which was launched in 1996, a year after, and we didn't get Google Maps until 2005. How the hell did we find our ways around?
AA route finder, mate.
Exactly, that big massive map.
Remember AA route finder? You remember opening it up?
I
Just
remember
hang
that.
on. You'd go at the bottom, and you'd get just beyond Leeds, and you try to get to Wakefield. Fucking hell, page 42. Page 42.
Oh, mate, they were the days. Honestly, that's probably why every weekend we went to the exact same places, because nobody could be bothered reading a map.
Exactly. I've missed a couple of things here. When Marcus is doing he's having the crack. He sings La Bamba. And I was like,
Oh,
whoa,
yeah.
that takes me back. La Bamba is a Mexican folk song, so there's absolutely no reason why he would sing it other than the fact that these guys have no idea what they're doing. From the state of Veracruz, best known from a 1958 adaptation by Richie Valens. You know him.
Yeah.
Big bopper. Woo!
Yeah. Oh, Neil Diamond.
That's the one.
Is it
Neil
Diamond?
Diamond.
No,
Lou Diamond
Phillips. You see, done the
Scammed
biography?
it.
I know.
Neil Diamond Phillips.
Blue jeans. Neil Diamond Phillips. That's a new one. Let's get a mix.
Fucking hell. Valens' version is ranked 345 on Rolling Stones magazine's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. His corpse will be fucking delighted. It's the only song on the list sung in a language other than English, because obviously Rolling Stone's racist. La Bamba has been covered by numerous artists, most notably Los Lobos, whose version was the title track of the 1987 film La Bamba, which is about Valens, starring
Neil Diamond Phillips.
Neil Diamond, yeah. Famous Jew, Neil Diamond. Coal miner's daughter, Neil Diamond.
Yeah, you never know who that is. He's taking all his stuff off Spotify, so maybe you'll know.
I don't think Neil Diamond has. I think you're mixing him up with Neil Young. Wherever I lay my hat, that's my home. I also don't think he has.
That takes you back.
Our listeners are fucking kicking right off. All three of them now going, what is going on? How much whiskey has he drunk?
Not enough.
That version of La Bamba, by the way, reached number one in 1987. I'm a bit exhausted after that, John. You've given me a case of the giggles. And I think,
throw the chat right at you.
By the way, we've had some really good feedback from a number of listeners about how much you made me laugh at James Brown versus Boris Johnson the other day.
God, that was good.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
We meet these other two, basically the opposite kind of feds. There's a Hispanic guy and there's this white guy. The Hispanic guy kind of thought I knew from stuff. The white guy I knew from fucking loads of things, I thought. Yeah. I think he's one of these kind of, it's a peripheral comedy guy. Oh, right, okay.
I'm sure he was in one of the not the Screams, but what was the one that was a parody of Scream? There was one with the hot
Scary Movie.
Scary Movie. Hot chick for American Pie, she was in it. It was her boyfriend.
Oh, right. Okay, good.
The one where they cut her head off and she was still talking while she was in the bin.
Good one. Spot. Yeah. Is that the second? Is that Scary Movie 2?
It's one of them.
Yeah. Again, that's another Wayans film. These boys are brilliant, by the way. I won't have a word said against the. There's like 50 of them. Well, and now all their sons are making movies.
What's the one that was Don't Drink Juice and Hood while... Oh.
Yeah, that's Keenen Ivory Wayans.
Aye, that was good.
You know him because he directed this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a great one. And I'm going to get you, sucker.
Yeah, I'm going to get you with a big massive toe. Oh,
I'm going to get you, sucker is really, really good too. Why would you talk about other films? On the subject of other films, there's a bit where when the money's happening, he's like, oh, it's all about the Benjamins. And I was like, hang on a second. I know that film. 2002 American action comedy directed by Kevin Bray, starring Ice Cube and Mike Epps. I haven't thought about Mike Epps in ages. Where's he? I hope he's okay. I hope Mike Epps is doing okay. Bounty hunter and con artist who join forces to find a group of diamond thieves.
Right.
Film released in March 2002 to negative reviews. Despite this, the film was a moderate box office hit. The film's title is taken from the 1997 hip-hop song, It's All About the Benjamins, of course, by P. Diddy. Puff Daddy, whatever we're calling him these days.
Sean Coombs, Sean Paul.
Sean Puffy Coombs, Sean Paul. More than diamond, more than gold. Yeah. I wonder where Mike Epps is. I'll reach out to him. I'll reach out to him on the Twitters and see if he's okay.
Last time I seen him, he was on a House on Haunted Hill. Sure.
House on Haunted Hill.
No,
That's
a
lot of fun. The remake of that, Famke Janssen and Jeffrey Rush.
Yeah.
Oh, I could listen to Jeffrey Rush just read the fucking newspaper.
Yeah,
he's brilliant, isn't he?
That's a good remake. I enjoyed that.
You don't believe in ghost stories? You're in one. Okay. Anyway, as you say, Marcus gets home. I've been worried about you all night, she says. He's like, baby, it's 8 p.m. You've not been worried about me all night. Anyway, now, she's awful, apparently. Yeah. She's written to be awful here. But he's the one falling asleep while he's getting bollocked.
Yeah.
I don't care how busy a day you've had. Take your fucking medicine, bruv. Or, stand up to it.
We've all tried it. Doesn't work.
They were at the bureau the next day. The chief's explaining that there's an expected kidnapping of these two heiresses, right? Yep. No one takes the job of looking after them. Like, they refuse to. And he's like, oh, yeah, you've obviously read their files. The boys are late, and they're kind of walking through the corridors and just look, we've got to get back in the chief's good books. We've got to get back in the chief's good books. He's like, he's never going to use us for anything. Anyway, they barge through the door. Like, yeah, sorry, we're late, chief, but we want in on the job. He's like, okay. Straight away, he's like, oh, you don't know what you volunteered for. Yeah. Yep. And they are fucking awful. They pick them up at the airport, don't they?
Oh, God, yeah. Are they the ones that say we've given to the fund, the UNCF?
We've already given to the,
Which was founded in 1944, by the way, but they've given a lot of money to the black students of the world.
Yes, we did cover that. We covered that in something, but for the life of me, I couldn't find what it was. But we have talked about that in a previous episode. So good stuff. There's this dog, Baby, this tiny little fucking floof of a dog, who was apparently shit his Louis Vuitton fucking carry case.
I see that Louis Vuitton. Looking at that, so I looked that up. French high street luxury fashion house, a company founded in 1854 by Louis Vuitton in Paris.
Louis Vuitton, but he changed his name. It's too common.
Louis.
After opening his first store, he moved to workshops in, Asnières-sur-Seine, northwest of the city.
Nice.
And they began to build luggage there in 1859, developing the brand's original flat-top grey trunk, which is what I was called in college. Hi-oh! They outfitted French expeditions with travel gear.
What?
Yeah. Above the workshop was a loft where the Vuitton family lived in order to remain close to production. They moved into an Art Nouveau home next door. In 1896, 4 years after Vuitton's death, the company introduced the first monogrammed canvas, which is what they've got there. Yeah. The LV and the geometric to the Paul Giamatti shapes. Oh my God, it's Paul Giamatti. Another impression I can't do. And it's become the most iconic print.
Yeah.
A small pull-along suitcase with that particular print on will cost you 2,600 quid.
Bargain. Get me two.
For carrying all your stuff to your new house. Yeah, yes, that sounds
please.
Good.
Thank you.
Champion. It's like Frank Zappa's Valley Girl, this. It's like, no way. And I was like, for sure. Isn't it? They're awful.
Yeah,
and
horrible human
basically,
beings.
The dog has to sit up front in this fucking booster seat. Because, I don't know, it's like your dog. Meanwhile, Kirsty's in the back.
Yeah.
And the dog decides to jump out of the window. Kevin saves it by grabbing the leash, as our American listeners would say. Basically crashes the car. The girls have got these tiny little scratches. Like, one's got a tiny busted lip.
Yep, and one's got
the other one's got like this little scratch on her fucking bridge of her nose. And they're kind of like, we can't go to the Hamptons. We don't want to be seen as being disfigured.
No, they're horrible. They're horrible. Every time they talk, horrible people.
Yeah. I was going to look into the Hamptons, but I couldn't because we've already covered it in... Oh, what did we
Oh,
cover the Hamptons in, John?
so we covered Legally Blonde, but the only thing
There
we
you
didn't
go.
really cover is I didn't actually realise how close it was to New York.
Yeah, it's like Long Island. It's just the
Yeah,
other end
yeah,
of Long Island, isn't it?
yeah. It's basically they're sort of like our soul coats, if you will.
Salt codes. Yeah, it's basically fucking Silloth for people from Carlisle.
Because it's basically a destination for New Yorkers to go.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So they're back at this kind of hotel where where they've put them up, and Marcus basically tries to hang himself. This was a bit grim. He's
Yeah,
like, one more screw up and we're through. Might as well just do it now. Kevin says, no, the girls are still going to go. And he calls this this team of prosthetic experts in.
yeah,
And I'm like, okay, what is that? And it's like basically FX, isn't
pretty
it?
much. Yeah, mixed
Yeah. Yeah.
with Big Mama's house.
Yeah. One of those is a future episode and the other is not, John. But I'm not
Yes,
going to tell our
definitely.
listeners which.
Surprise, surprise.
They basically Mrs. Doubtfire them.
Yes.
I was like, match maker, make me a
Yeah,
match.
which is where the makeup comes from. I'm sure it was a guy
All
that
right.
had a hand in Miss Doubtfire, because obviously it had to be a really matte coloured makeup.
Yeah.
Basically, they had to call on somebody with expertise, and the guy was the one that done Miss Doubtfire.
You said he had a hand in Mrs. Doubtfire. That sounds painful. No wonder she went, hello!
Covered in cream.
That
Cut
was a
that bit.
run by fruiting. I'm not cutting that. At the Hamptons, I think they make semi-convincing women. They're not attractive, but
Yeah,
they're semi-convincing women. They've got kind of like Bo Selector masks on, haven't they?
yeah,
Reverse Bo Selectors.
yeah. They're very tall,
The-
very, very tall.
Yeah, yeah. These guys whistle at Marcus. He's like, "You want some, punk? You want some?" It's brilliant. Super aggressive. The Fed, pretending to be the reception, asks for a credit card and ID, which they don't have. And and he's going, I'm going to have a BF. I'm going to have a BF. It's like, oh no, she's going to have a bitch fit.
Yeah.
It's like,
Did
I
you look
will.
that? Did you look that
I,
up?
I didn't, mate. No.
It's actually an Urban Dictionary. So when a person, usually female, is angry, upset about something, and starts whining, crying, yelling, screaming, throwing things when they don't get their own way.
Okay. Written by a man, of course. That.
Definitely.
Fuck. Do you know what? Fuck the patriarchy. That's what I say. She basically says, "I'll right. I'm gonna struggle here because I'm gonna call them she and he and she, and they keep getting mixed up as to which one's which
Why
because
don't you
they're
just call
such
them
good makeup
they?
jobs."
Why don't you call them they?
And
Oh,
that's
right,
what I do.
the characters.
Yeah, I'll get the characters mixed up.
Yeah.
I'll write a letter. He's like pretending to write a letter. I am a white woman in America. He's like, no, please don't write a letter. I was like, proto Karen? Question mark.
Yeah, I was definitely.
The chief sorts it, and this is where the line, "You beautiful chocolate man." you look like Denzel. Does anyone ever tell you that? And he's like, "Yeah, a couple of times." He does not look like Denzel.
Nah, far from it. Far from it.
These three friends of theirs turn up: Karen, Lisa, and Tori. Right?
Yep.
Two of these are very, very good actors. The third one I didn't recognise from anything. So Busy Phillips is out of Freaks and Geeks. I think she was in ER? Question mark.
Yeah.
Dawson's Creek. There's this other character, Tori, who I didn't know out of anything. Jessica Corfell.
Uh-huh. And the last
I
one
think
was
was she maybe the friend Legally Blonde? You know, there's the two friends that come into the courtroom. The Elle's friends. I think she's the blonde friend out of that. Anyway, enough. And then there was Jennifer Carpenter, right? I have got to admit, I fancy the fucking pants off Jennifer Carpenter.
Yeah, there's just something about her. Even in horror movies, she's still got it.
Oh, she is that terrible Wreck remake. What was that called?
Quarantine?
Quarantine. Yeah. Wreck is amazing. Quarantine is not. Jennifer Carpenter is amazing.
Yeah.
She was in the killer thing, Michael C. Hall
Yeah.
as his sister.
Dexter.
She was married to him and his sister. Not obviously in
What?
the program, but she's his. She was his wife.
Yeah, first thing I
But
seen
yeah,
her was
she's
a possession horror movie, and I thought she was going to be one of those scream queens. But
uh huh.
she's got range. She's done a lot.
The basic saying. What's different about you? You've had collagen. I mean, literally, they have had collagen. You got taller. Oh yeah, we got our knees done.
I've seen that. I've seen
Brilliant.
that.
It's
Jesus.
not a thing. You cannot get your knees done, John. Not that
Nah,
you'd want to. You
you can get your legs lengthened though.
can you?
So I've looked this up. So tricks to make yourself
Why
look
would
taller.
you look this up? You're fucking massive.
It's for Kirsty. It's for Kirsty. Right. So
She is perfect the way she is. Don't you dare.
she really is.
She doesn't
So
even listen to this. What am I fucking bothering for?
oh, she will if she hears her name. Right. So I'm going to start off with the tricks. So
The
avoid
tricks. Are
the
you
trick.
turning tricks to lengthen legs?
Hell no. Right. So avoid loose fitting clothes. Uh, avoid elongated jackets, high waisted jeans, and crop tops to make your legs look bigger. Wear vertical stripes. Go monochromatic. But this is the other ways is increase your height by wearing increased insoles. There's growth pills, and you can get leg lengthening surgery, and it's available in a dozen countries. And some of the patients are able to increase their height by 5 inches. Like 5 inches?
Man,
That's
that's.
massive.
I would almost be the height of most of my uncles.
That's a
My old man
lot.
was the shortest of his brothers, and I don't think he ever got over that. I don't give a fuck. I'm the tallest of my siblings, but that's because I'm the only boy.
Happy days. Aye, that's your cheats for you, buddy. There's some cheats for you if you need to look bigger.
That's dirty cheats, man. I'm loving that. That's bare exciting. They lead them to this do, right? And there's these two creepy guys. And one of them looked like somebody was fucking white chicken as Jonathan Taylor Taylor
Yeah,
Thomas. Do you remember
I know you're
fucking
talking about.
JTT?
Yeah,
With the
was he
fucking
in
curtains. It's 2003, 2004. What the fuck
four?
are we wearing curtains for?
I know. It's a bit stupid, wasn't it? Even I was like going, what the hell? I'm sure I
Jesus.
had curtains at that time as well, though.
Did you?
Nah, I'm all kidding.
Still? That point, I was
Nah,
going to say.
I was going through my Eminem stage where I dyed my hair white and cut it short and pulled it forward.
Yeah, in fact, 2004 is when I first did my Shawn of the Dead cosplay, as the kids would say now, fancy dress. So I would say, and I bleached my hair blonde.
You got
And
red on you.
I did have red on me. Yeah. It's the only thing I got on me that week. Sadly, I thought it was the best fancy dress in the world, but nobody had seen the film. It had only been out at the cinemas 4 months previously.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
It's brutal. In fact, I went to this fancy dress fair, and one guy turned around to me and said, "Have you come straight? Check the badge. Hello, my name is Shawn, the Foray Electrics badge. Have you just come straight from work?" Fucking brutal,
Oh,
man.
that's
Brutal.
horrible.
I know, absolutely fucking brutal. One of these guys is like, they look like Wilt Chamberlain, but then he's like, would still bone, and I'm like, fuck off, just fucking fuck off, will you?
Bone.
Wilt Chamberlain, by the way, American professional basketball player who played as a centre, widely regarded as one of the greatest players in sports history. Again, 'tis a joke about them being tall.
Yeah, tall, very tall. They towered over everybody in that bloody party.
Then there's the Vanderbilt sisters. Now, I struggled here because I was certain one of them was the hot twin from Sweet Valley High, but then at the same time, I don't think it was, and then I ran
Nah,
out of
was
time
he?
looking. It wasn't, was it?
Nah. One was Jamie
I was
King, who's been in a
absolutely certain
lot
it
of stuff.
was. Yes, I think Jamie King was who I thought that was, and it wasn't. She was in what was the fighting game that they made a film out of?
Was it DOA?
Dead or Alive?
We Flick
Holly
for
Valance.
Holly Valance, that's right. Flick for Neighbours, I was going to say. Nobody's going to know who that is.
Well, she'd give you a kiss.
Oh, she was something else. But aye, DOA, that's right. So it was.
There you go.
DOA.
I'm glad I didn't imagine that. the line they use is, and this really fucked me off. She got pulled doing a Winona, right?
Yeah.
Because do you remember when the worst thing in the world was getting caught shoplifting?
Yeah, she did. Well,
White
she did,
women getting caught
she
shoplifting.
did it in style, though. Like, it was thousands of pounds of stuff she went to walk out with,
Yeah,
but she did it in
well,
style.
I get that, but imagine if that happened now. No one had fucking blinked twice.
Man, we had the Richard Madeley. He's still whining. Everybody forgot about that.
And your man that stole the chef that stole the cheese, Anthony Worrell Thompson.
So he did.
Now,
Still accused.
there's a reference for everything we learned from The Simpsons. Tom probably isn't listening to this, but if he is, that's the kind of reference we do on everything we learned about The Simpsons. Anthony Worrell Thompson nicking cheese from Tesco. And that's why they now tag their fucking steak.
Aye, because
Certainly in Glasgow, anyway.
What the hell? They tag
Funny.
everything.
That's because you are a bunch of robbing bastards.
They tag the bags. You can't even get a bag for life for free now. Aye, shoplifting incident in 2001. We were either. Seems like a lifetime ago now, doesn't it?
It does seem like a lifetime ago. And you know what? That fucking killed her career, and I'm not okay with that.
Yeah.
When did
definitely
we next see her? Like Spock's mum or something?
Yeah, it was a long time
Yeah,
after.
it went a long time without Winona, and she's great stuff. She's really good in that show about the kids on Netflix.
Stranger
Things. Yeah, she was
Aye.
great in that. I hope
don't-
she's okay.
Just don't take it to award ceremonies because we should know going on about flying pizzas and all that sort of thing when they were at an award ceremony. You need to YouTube it if you don't know it, but she was
I don't recall that.
being a bit weird. Like she was looking into the middle distance and doing all that stuff with her hands. I was like, oh, she's a freaky piece.
Yeah, well,
Still though.
she's all right. She's all right. Yeah, of course. So they do this your mama thing, basically.
Yep.
With the girls, and I liked your mama's so stupid she goes to Dr. Dre for a pap smear.
That was good.
Ladies, please go and get yourself checked. Not by Dr. Dre. I mean, I'm sure he's all right. He's a lovely fella. With all, sure he wouldn't do you bad, but he doesn't really know what he's doing. And then there's a Don King reference, and I was kind of like,
oh yeah,
it's like, yeah, your mama's bush so hairy. We thought it was a Don King jumped out and went only in America, and I'm kind of like, okay, we all get the reference. It's the fact the fight would only ever happen in America, and Don King's got big hair, but I'm all right with a. Yeah. I just did a
hand gesture that no one will ever see.
Hand gesture to say, yeah, it's okay.
The magic diamond.
The friends think they did a great job showing them up, and this character from News. So this character is basically a news writer, isn't she? She's a reporter. I lost the words. So she's called Denise Porter. It's the fantastic Rochelle Ayers. We've seen her in a few bits and pieces. Wasn't entirely sure what, but she was recognisable, certainly. One of the girls is going to Tori is desperate to get her kind of to interview the girls, do kind of like a puff piece on them. Kevin's flirting with her. And Marcus eats all these canapes, doesn't he? He's beasting down these canapes.
He won't give anybody any.
No. He gives one to the dog, doesn't he? Nice. He says the guy. And the joke is that they're white, and one of the other FBI agents who is Hispanic. They keep basically making Mexican references, and I was like, okay. It's like, steady on. There's a lot of cheese in that. Like, cheese? Yeah. Do you know any other way to make a quiche? And you can make a cheese. You can make a quiche without dairy. I did look into this. You can make egg-free quiche, which is made with lentils.
What?
It sounds like shit, but I can assure you, I made it.
Like
it's very nice.
Is it all right?
Yeah. It's all right. Yeah. Again, the cheese thing's an issue unless you're using vegan cheese, which we're a non-dairy household. I don't talk about that. Like I don't talk about the miners' strike, and I don't talk about going to Cuba. But yeah, so that's tasty stuff. So Marcus
Anthony Worrell Thompson.
Yeah, he wasn't caught nicking fucking pulses, was he? Marcus doesn't do dairy, so cue him fucking shitting through the eye of a needle in the toilet. You know, you see that the girls go to the toilet to kind of
Yeah,
do the makeup.
he does a shipwreck for American Pie, doesn't he?
He does do.
Shipwreck.
He does. Yeah. Finch.
Finch
Yeah.
shipwreck.
They come out of the toilet, and here's Latrell, this basketball player. Mwah! Do you love him?
Yes, you can.
Who dissed, John?
This is Brooklyn Nine-Nine's Terry Crews.
Terence Crews. Yeah. It's our second Terence Crews film.
Yeah.
We saw him as basically stoic kind of gang hood, didn't we?
His first part as well, wasn't it?
His first thing in Training Day episode, yeah. That was a lot more disappointing than we thought it would be, that episode. But Terry Crews is the fucking MVP in this, 100%.
Yeah,
There's some really, really good acting in this. Terry Crews is fucking beaut. Yeah. I love him. I love him. And do you know what? I think he comes across, social media comes across a really nice guy as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody he's worked with, there's a lot of praise for him, and he's diverse as well. He's not afraid to make himself look stupid, because even though he's built like a brick shit house in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he's in all sorts of costumes, and all sorts, so he doesn't take himself too seriously, which I really like.
He was an American football player.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, he played for the LA Rams. He got drafted for the Rams. 6 games for them. Trained with the Packers at least. Never played a game. Chargers for 10 games. The Washington team, the old name, 16 games. And the Philadelphia Go Eagles, no games. Played in the international team as well for the Rain Fire, which was the French team, the German team that he played in as well. But yeah, he is so fun. He's so great. Exactly as you say, not afraid to take the piss out of himself. The brilliant. He's in that Longest Yard remake, which is okay.
Oh, as Adam Sandler?
Yeah. Is he Everybody Hates Chris's dad?
Yes, that's his dad, yeah. He's always walking about called Julius, and he always wore his overalls. Never wore anything else apart from overalls.
Is that worth going back to, Bob?
Yeah, because it was, for a while, Cheers was on Channel 4 in the morning when I was getting ready, and then he changed it for Everybody Hates Chris, and that was all right with it.
Okay. Oh, Cheers on a morning. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Getting ready watching Cheers, yeah.
Making it way in my world today. Took everything I
had. He's President Inacho, or whatever he's called, in Idiocracy, which is a 100% future episode. Yeah, if anybody's wanted to get on that, you are bang out a look, because Deadbeat Punk has already tagged that as a future episode. Go away, biting. It's a great film. I think I might go and watch that tonight, actually, for about the 50th time. So Latrell is meant to be a basketball player, right? Terry Crews is like 6'2".
Mm-hmm. All muscle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that man could jump a fucking inch off the ground.
No with that body mass, no chance.
He's chatting up Kevin's character. Once you go black, you need a wheelchair. And this lassie in a wheelchair goes like, "Hi, Latrell," and his little kind of buddy just pushes her out of the way. Like she goes fucking motoring across. I was kind of like, okay,
still made you laugh though.
That was everything Latrell did, everything Terry Crews did was all the scenes he were in were great. Kevin pepper sprays him, and he's like covering his eyes. That's wifey right there.
we've covered pepper spray, haven't we?
We have covered pepper spray, yeah. The girls head shopping. It's kind of like, oh, shopping. The girls are in the car, and they put the radio on. And there's this 1,000 Miles song. Do you know this song?
I remember it.
I quite like this song. Not like, in a I'm a white girl kind of way, but I quite like this song. Vanessa Carlton. She completed her education at the School of American Ballet. She chose to pursue singing instead. performing in New York City bars and clubs whilst attending college. 3 months after recording a demo with producer Pete Zizzo, she signed with A&M Records, began recording her album, which was initially unsuccessful until a bloke called Ron Fair took over. I read that as Ron Flair. Woo! Her debut single, 1,000 Miles, reached the top 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 2002. Her debut album, Be Not Nobody, received a platinum certification in the United States. Her subsequent albums, 2004, 2007, failed to match the commercial success of the first, and she's now living with MC Hammer in a shared house. No, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. But she produced a 4th album in 2011 independently because a record company wouldn't release it.
Right. That went anywhere.
Yeah, and she's not done anything since 2015. But the one thing I remember is the video was her on a piano going through the streets on the piano, you know, diddly diddly diddly, and I'll find it and I'll link to it on the socials. I always loved whoever it was that did the Grand Theft Auto and did a whoever it was driving a piano, and the piano diddly diddly diddly, and the piano's basically the piano's been given all the power of a truck and it's just ploughing through everything. Diddly diddly, it's all over different cinematic shots. It's great. That's a great video. And if you know video games, you know that fucking video.
Terry Crews's favourite music as well, his favourite song. So Terry Crews's favourite song. Later on, he does a skit, and apparently it was done on the one take.
Wait, that is actually the actor Terry Crews's favourite song.
Favourite song.
The actor Christopher Timothy. It's his favourite song.
Terry Crews.
Wow! I just made a bottom reference there that Joe will love. Hi, Joe. We miss you. Come back on. The actor Christopher Timothy. Right. Okay. Missed a few bits and pieces here. There's a mention that the dog needs a colonic. Colonic irrigation is basically alternative therapy to remove toxins from the colon and intestinal tract by removing accumulations of feces. Colon cleansing should not be confused with an enema, which introduces fluid to the colon. My arse is tightening just reading this. Some form of colon hydrotherapy, which sounds a lot better than this, uses tubes to inject water, sometimes mixed with herbs or other liquids, into the colon via the rectum using special equipment. So oral cleaning regime.
You're getting basted and stuffed at the same time.
The chance would be a fine thing. Oral cleaning regimes use dietary fibre, herbs, dietary supplements, or laxatives. Those who practice colon cleansing believe in auto-intoxication. Accumulations of putrefied feces line the walls of the large intestine. These accumulations harbour parasites or pathogenic gut flora, causing non-specific symptoms and general ill health. Which reminds me of that TV show in the late 90s, Celebrity Colon Irrigation or whatever. Richard Blackwood was on that. No, that's proper Channel 5 TV.
Oh, that sounds like him, didn't it? Because there's a lot of them did all the sort of programmes at the same time. I don't know why I keep thinking it's Keith Chegwin as well.
Oh, he was the one that ran out with his knob out, wasn't he?
So he was.
It's funny you should mention that because all I could think was Rebecca Lewis wanking off a pig.
Oh, God, yeah, I forgot about that.
I had also forgot about Rebecca Lewis. She was famous for shagging David Beckham, allegedly.
Yeah, the PA, wasn't she?
Yeah, allegedly.
PA, oh, you're right.
PA. Penis assistant.
Aye.
Hi-oh. The girls are mentioned that they're going to be, the plan is that they want to be in Hamptons magazine. Hamptons is a magazine founded in 1978, published 13 times throughout the year, focused on real estate, that's houses to me and you, interior design, fashion, art, culture, dining, entertainment, fitness, and being a cunt. The magazine was published by Niche Media, yeah, you're not fucking wrong, and was founded in 1998 by Jason Bin and belongs in the Jason Bin. It has an approximate circulation of 40 to 50,000 rich cunt copies and is distributed all over the Hamptons. Was there not a pig called Hampton in something? What TV show and film is that? Was that Hampton?
We'll check that out. We'll check it out.
Well, we won't. We won't check it out. Final thing. when they're in this, they go into the room. It's My Life by No Doubt is playing. Do you know what? The one thing I will say, the fucking soundtrack to this is
Oh
great.
yeah, it's good. It's
Yeah.
got a lot of good tunes in it.
It's My Life's a cover of Talk Talk Number, written by the great Mark Hollis and his big gold lame suit that he wears for gigs. Tim Frieskeen. Was on their second album, released January 1984. Reached number 46 on the UK singles chart. This did much better in other countries. Number 1 in the US dance club songs chart. No Doubt recorded a cover version of the song to promote their first greatest hits album. The Singles, 92 to 2003. You'll never guess what year that was released.
2008.
That's right. Yeah. So after the Vanessa Carlton thing, they change the channel, don't they? And
Yeah.
it's 50 Cent,
It's Fiddy.
right? Now they use the N word, and the girls are like, "You can't use the N word," and they're like, "Oh no, it's okay because there's nobody here." And all of a sudden, that's perpetuated the fucking
Everybody in that car.
And now you think it's okay to say the N word if you are on your own. I don't even say the N word when I'm on my own because why would I?
I know. It's too funny. Like,
And
it's
I'm
weird
officially the blackest man in Carlisle.
it's weird because in the back you're like, oh, look at them singing away. But as soon as the ones in front start singing, you're like, oh.
No, I'm not okay with that. Yeah, because I know that's men in whiteface, and I'm okay with that. Jesus. So they get to the changing rooms. Marcus gets a call from his girl as he's stuck in this mesh top he can't go over his head. The woman from the shop turns in to help, and she's like, "Oh yeah, get your head in. It's a tight fit.
Oh god.
Yeah. Oh, it fits perfectly."
Yeah.
And you kind of like, "Okay, yeah, this is okay. This would have been funnier for me if I was 17." One of the girls Jennifer Carpenter's character has an issue with her weight. She looks, and that's the point. She looks stunning, right?
Yeah.
Is the point. She looks amazing. And it's not just me being a pervert, although I probably am a little
Oh no,
bit.
no, she looks great.
She looks fantastic. But she's kind of like, oh yeah, whatever. And some really good acting here. Throw Shamu back in the ocean. I was like, hang on a second. I know what that's a reference to. Not to be confused with Big Shamu, of course, who came onto our podcast recently.
For Starship Troopers.
For Starship Troopers. We had a lot of fun, didn't we?
Yeah.
Mans is great. I love him. He's fantastic. Shamu was a captive killer whale that appeared at SeaWorld San Diego in the mid to late 60s. She, not he, was the fourth orca ever captured and the second female. She was caught in October 65 and had 6 years of captivity. After her death, the name Shamu continued to be used in SeaWorld. Shamu shows for different orca in different SeaWorld parks. Shamu was retired from performing after an incident in April 1971, in which she bit the legs and hips of Anne Heckis, an employee who was told to ride her as part of a filmed publicity event.
Right.
She refused to release the woman until other workers came to rescue and pried the whale's jaws apart with a pole. Sounds painful. The employee had been asked to ride Shamu whilst wearing a bikini and had not known the killer whale had previously attacked people who wore bathing suits and was only conditioned to perform with trainers wearing wetsuits.
Oh, man.
Shamu died 4 months later, August 16th, 1971. And if you haven't seen it, listeners, and you like a documentary and you have any kind of interest in animals, Blackfish is the documentary.
Still on Netflix?
Have you seen that, John?
Aye, but it was horrible.
It's sad, it's grim, but there's a reason that place is fucking shut down.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
She also then says, and Carney Wilson before her surgery. Carney Wilson, of course, is the daughter of Beach Boy Brian Wilson.
All right, okay.
And if you do like the Bridesmaids film, the Wilson Phillips song, Hold On for One More Day.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to put it out there, and I know it's not for me, but we recently rewatched Bridesmaids because I thought I'd not given it a fair shot the first time.
Okay, how'd you get on?
No, I didn't like it at all.
No?
In spite of the fact that it's a really, really, really good cast. It's an excellent cast. The protagonist's a fucking arsehole.
But it's got the mum for the Goldbergs in it.
It has. She looks amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it's it's great. Yeah, it's a great cast. It's one of the great comedy casts of all time.
Yeah.
And Rebel Wilson is also in it.
She no cancelled after that bloody BAFTA thing.
What did she do?
Apparently, it was just a cringeworthy. She hosted. I'm sure she hosted something, and
Yeah, she was hosting the BAFTAs. Yeah, because
yeah.
when the BAFTAs announced it, or she announced it, and the BAFTAs retweeted it, or whatever you do on Instagram. I was like, oh right, okay, another laugh-free year at the BAFTAs from the podcast account, and I got absolute fucking pelters. Turns out, guess who's right?
Yeah.
Right again. Planty's right. Tell a friend.
She didn't. A few jokes didn't land. Some it just apparently was.
She's as funny as the fucking clap, mate. Anyway, I'm sure we've got a lot of listeners that like her brand of comedy. Go away. Don't listen to us. Don't listen to us. Go and listen to her if you want. Don't listen to us. I am asking you, listeners, to pick between us and Rebel Wilson, because one of us is really funny, and it's you, John.
We'll gaslight you.
We'll gaslight you to fuck, mate. Yeah. They come out. Marcus is poured into this outfit, and basically hulks out into it just by trying to stand up, which is kind of good. Meanwhile, outside, the other feds are debating Janet Reno or Rosie O'Donnell.
So I know who Rosie O'Donnell is. Janet Reno.
Janet Reno, John, was an American lawyer who served as Attorney General of the United States from 1993 to 2001. President Bill Clinton nominated Reno on February 11th, 1993. The Senate confirmed her the following month. First woman to serve as Attorney General and the second longest serving Attorney General in U.S. history after William Ritt. Reno was born and raised in Miami, Florida. Sounds like our friend Josh.
Mm-hmm.
After leaving to attend Chris Cornell University and Harvard Law School, she returned to Miami where she started a career in private law firms. Her first foray into government was as a staff member at the Judiciary Committee of the Florida House of Representatives. She then worked for the Dade County State Attorney's Office before returning to private practice. She's been elected to the office of State Attorney 5 times.
What? That's a massive election.
Girl be doing okay. You don't need us to tell you who Rosie O'Donnell was.
Oh, God, yeah. Annoying?
Yeah. Kevin gets his bag stolen off of this mugger and chases him down. And one of the feds is like, is she a track star? Because he fucking runs. And when he catches him, he just batters the fuck out of him. He's run into Trouble by
Pink.
Yeah. Now, I think Pink's music for women who don't like music. But here's the thing. This particular song was written by Tim Armstrong, who I don't think you'll know, John. Tim Armstrong was the lead singer and lead man with Rancid.
Right.
American ska punk band, Time Bomb, all that kind of stuff. No, I don't think so. Pink's real name, Alicia Beth Moore. Song made number 7 in the UK chart in 2003. Must have been a very fucking slow week. And is also featured in the Princess Diaries 2 Royal Engagement. Future episode? Question mark.
What?
I don't know, I've never seen it. And Miss Congeniality 2. Armed and Famous. That first Miss Congeniality film was fun.
No, it was good.
There's a good cast on that. I'd watch Sandy do anything. She's great. I think she's fantastic. I think she's very, very funny. She's great. Speed, I think, is probably a future episode as well.
I liked Demolition Man. Definitely liked Demolition Man.
Previous episode. Demolition Man.
So she fly hooks this guy, didn't she? Right, splatters him, and then stands up. And what happened there is it's Prada.
Oh yeah, it was it's Prada.
Founded in 1913, by the way, by Mario Prada.
Oh, it's me, Mario Prada. No, okay.
Bags.
Bagger, bagger, bagger.
Bagger, bagger,
Bagger,
bagger.
bagger, bagger. Bogger, bogger, bogger. Anyway. This is our most irreverent episode.
We try.
So that night at dinner, they're at the back table. It's basically like the freaks at table 8 from
Oh, yeah. It's really
The
bad,
Wedding
isn't
Singer, previous
it? I
episode.
love the way one of the serving staffs walk by and says sorry as he hits Lady Carpenter right in the head.
Yeah, he does. The Vanderbilt sisters, one of the Vanderbilt sisters is being bid on by her man. It goes up to 20k. Tiffany / Marcus is next. Jarrell's bidding, of course. Like, they started bidding at 40 quid, but Jarrell's bidding because Jarrell's, a fucking pervert.
With money, the worst kind.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Aren't they all? And the winning bid in the end is 50k. So he's bidding, but Kevin bids him up basically by prodding all these fucking guys.
Yeah, making them
for
throw
them
their
to,
arms up.
like, tickling them and throwing their arms up. It's great. It's fantastic. And Jarrell's the winning bid at 50, which obviously fucks her off because she was only 20. That night, the boys are in the room, completely in their normal gear. I loved the fact that Kevin was wearing this "What You Talking About, Willis" t-shirt.
Yeah, that was cool, wasn't it?
I
Yeah.
loved that. I want one of those. That's great. But the girls show up because it's apparently the twins' turn to do
for the slumber party.
the stay over. Cue
Yeah.
the Mrs. Doubtfire getting ready thing. Hello,
Yeah.
dear.
We can't do slumber parties because we've done that in Legally Blonde as well.
We do. They have a sleepover. There's no lesing up, which obviously actually happens because we're men and we know that. We know that happens. These bad Mexican bastards turn up because they're going to take her, don't they? They come to the door, but it turns out that they're the strippers. But Marx does this fantastic job of suppressing, like, basically fucking wrestling moves.
Yeah,
it's fantastic stuff. I've written here, really good work, mate.
But really not the best looking strippers, though, are they? They just look like a couple of men.
They just look like a couple of fucking... Yeah. The next day, they're at this beach. This beach, by the way, looked minging.
Aye, wasn't the best, was it?
Like, it looked like a fucking ash pile.
It looked grey. Yeah, it looked really grey.
Yeah. And the water, fucking hell. You would never go in the water in New York State, would you?
Nah,
would you?
Nah.
Question mark, listeners?
I don't think it's sanitary. I wouldn't think so.
Sanitary towels, maybe.
Yeah.
Maroon 5, This Love. By the way, that Maroon 5 album, Songs About Jane, was everywhere, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think I had a copy of that.
It was.
I tried to listen to it yesterday in the car. It's fucking gash, but it is a million times better than anything they've done since. If anybody likes that Moves Like Jagger song, there is a fucking hole in the ground in my garden waiting for you, boy. I thought the beach looked a bit like Port Glasgow.
Wow. You're bigging it up there. You're bigging it up.
I know, yeah, it didn't look that good. Laurel's here in his budgie smugglers. Greased up, isn't he? Let's go hunting. And I was like, wow.
So scary.
And he comes over and he's in is it Marcus? Yeah, it's Marcus. He's in Marcus's kind of light, isn't he? And he's like, "Hasta la vista, Schwarzenegro." I think, yes, it's a great line. It made me laugh both times. Kevin goes and takes Luttrell's clothes out of the changing room and goes to chat up Denise from the paper. Mm-hmm. He pretends to be Luttrell, right? And the suit jacket's quite big on him, but everything else looks like it kind of fits.
Yeah. No chance that would fit that. No chance.
That's what Rachel said.
Yeah, Terry Crews is literally just like a diamond at the top, isn't he?
He does just like a fucking triangle, doesn't he? He pretends to be buying a house and wants her help. He'll pick her up later on. Meanwhile, Marcus's wife's had her card declined while she's getting dinner with the girls. The card company tells her it's because a 5k dress was bought in the Hamptons, which they would not do.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I hope somebody got fired for that blunder. Yeah.
I know. Nobody heard the GDPR?
Yeah, exactly. Marcus meets Luttrell. He says, "It's okay, I won't bite unless you ask me to." 1,000 Miles comes on, which is exactly what you say, as he's singing along.
Yep.
I love that GIF. It's one of my
I
favourite
know,
reaction
it's
GIFs.
so
I
good in
use it
it. But
all the time.
all one take, buddy. All one take.
That's great that he did that in one take.
I
What
know.
a boy.
It's great, isn't it? More respect for that guy.
Mm-hmm. Kevin's dressed as the valet to take the car and the house keys. I think
Yep.
Luttrell's like, she's mine. So get your
Yeah.
own. And he's like, I'm not here for that.
Did you see the car though?
No.
It was an Aston Martin.
Was it
It
really?
was an Aston
Wow.
Martin. Yeah, I was
Wow.
looking at it going, oh my god. So Aston Martin, founded in 1913 by Lionel Martin and Robert Bamford. Where does the Aston come into it? But yeah, it was an Aston Martin. I was so jealous.
My maternal surname. My mum was a Bamford.
Oh really? I
Yeah,
thought you were
no
going to say
relation.
Aston.
No, no, she was a Bamford, and now she's just a fucking Bam. Scottish reference for you there, people. It's for about 10 people, that one. The Luttrell orders champagne and oysters.
The finest champagne.
The finest champagne.
Have you googled the finest champagne?
I haven't, John.
There's about 7 or 8 of them, but the finest one. That I don't think it's like an expert's opinion. I think it's just rich people's. But every time
Is it
somebody
Tesco's the finest range?
close though, it's Dom Perignon Co-op. No, it's Dom Perignon Moët Chandon.
Oh yeah. We bought a bottle of Moët Chandon for Christmas
All right,
for
yeah.
our
So,
friends coming over. It was gone in fucking seconds.
well, apparently
What a
you
waste.
bought one of the finer champagnes then.
Yeah, it was like 35 quid.
What? Didn't say it was that
35
good.
quid.
Jesus.
I can assure you, I barely had a taste of it. I had a pint of London Pride instead.
Oh,
Classic me.
classic you, mate.
Marcus is trying to put him off, so she takes her foot and bites her toenails and spits them. Now, I'm going to call out my fucking sister Elizabeth on this, because she used to do that as a kid. Calling you out, girl. I mean, I love you, but you disgusting. He orders. He says. Oh, I'll have a. I can't remember what he orders, but he says and a salad for the lady. He's like, no, I'll have steak, onions, ribs, pasta with extra garlic, onion rings, and sauerkraut.
And sauerkraut.
Like, my arse was twitching just thinking about it. He says. Oysters are an aphrodisiac. And then he licks the thing and he goes, my tongue's kind of big. Cue this fucking huge CGI tongue, by the way.
Yeah, that's pretty
It looked like Jamie Oliver.
That's no right, is it? It was the right.
Fat tongue bastard. Yeah. Aphrodisiacs, John.
Yep.
Do you know your aphrodisiacs?
Yes, I do.
Good. That's quite handy because I've got a little quiz for you.
Okay.
I've got one hint for you, though. Stella Artois is not an aphrodisiac.
No, what? It's been doing it since.
I know,
It's
disappointing.
been doing it since 2005.
Okay, question 1. A watermelon. Is it an aphrodisiac? Yes or no?
Yes.
Correct. Bananas.
Bananas for potassium. I'd say yes.
No, but they do give you
What?
that burst of energy. Number
That's what I
3,
do.
Cumberland sausage.
Fuck yes.
No, but it is ring shaped, so you know.
Give me the horn.
Number 4, chocolate.
Yes.
Yes, but not American chocolate, obviously, because that's
No.
fucking shit.
Too greeny.
Number 5, final one, Subway.
What kind of Subway?
Like a sandwich, a Subway sandwich.
But what kind?
Just like a fucking Subway sandwich, John. Jesus.
I'm gonna
Who's
say
asking
no.
the questions here, me or you?
I'm going to say no.
You're absolutely correct, John. But girls love a foot long,
No.
which is why I'm going to die alone.
a foot long and a big gulp.
Yeah. You got 3 there. Congratulations. At Luttrell's house, Kevin's showing Denise around the house. He kicks out this like Asian
Cleaner.
kind of
Yeah.
cleaner, and Latrell's Rottweiler attacks him. He's kind of stood on his chest. He just misses me, is all. It's kind of funny. They lock him in this room. Marcus is eating all the food. These
Yep.
ribs, by the way, do you see the size of these ribs? They look like the rack of ribs that go on the side of the Flintstones car at the end of that episode.
Yeah, they're massive, aren't they? That way the Camden.
Yabba dabba doo, I want to eat meat with you.
Yeah, it's a
Kind of
big chunk of meat, wasn't it?
Did like I mean I don't know what kind of fucking I think that was probably one of Terry Crews's ribs. If I'm honest. By the way, in this suit, you couldn't really tell in this suit because it's quite loose fitting because it's the early 2000s. But when he takes it, he's like fucking Ned Flanders under it, isn't he? Stupid, sexy Terry Crews.
He really is. It hides 1,000 muscles.
He does. Latrell says, "Oh, you know, I'm the highest point scorer in the NBA this season." He's like, "Yeah, but you never shoot 3-pointers and you're lazy."
Aye,
And
and he
it
loves
gets
it.
him kind of all emotional because no one ever does. And when he goes to kiss him, Marcus farts, which I thought was really good. But
You love a good fart.
who doesn't? Who doesn't? The highest scorer in last year's NBA, Giannis Antetokounmpo, possibly. Obviously, one of our Greek pals.
Were you cutting it there?
No, I just couldn't pronounce boy's name. 32.64 points per game average, which is fucking mad.
That's crazy.
Dems is all the points. All the points. Denise explains to Kevin, who thinks he's a troll, she lost her job when she reported on Vanderbilt basically swindling cash.
Yeah.
They cop off, and then Marcus calls, it's time to go. The feds find the masks in the room, and the white guy finds the underwear and sniffs it.
Sniffs it.
And then as the guy comes in with the mask, he's like, they're guys, aren't they? At the club, Latrell's given 2 tablets by fucking Jonathan Taylor Thomas, possessor fucking mask face wanker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
God, he just looked like someone's got to fucking...
Yeah, totally.
Have you seen that Possessor film?
Yeah,
yeah.
It's.
Do you enjoy that? Sorry, enjoy, inverted commas.
It was a good idea, though, but...
It was fucking brutal, wasn't it?
Yeah. He's got a good imagination, that boy.
He's he is his dad's 100% his dad's like
Oh god, yeah.
absolute successor. Yeah, he's absolute dad's possessor. But he gives him these 2 tablets and he says, "Oh, you know, these will help her come around," kind of thing. And I'm like, "Oh shit, we're doing date rape jokes. I'm not okay with that." Everyone's dancing, and it becomes a dance-off. Now, this is probably my favourite of the scenes. I really liked this because I love a dance-off. I love a dance-off. I love a dance-off. I love a rap-off. Right.
Right. Okay.
So I'm all for that. So they start off dancing to "Crazy in Love," which again I hadn't thought of in ages. That song was huge, wasn't it?
It really was. Yeah.
Still sounds good today. 2003, John. It's nearly 20 years old.
Jesus.
Sound of the summer for me, and I'm never a Beyonce fan.
Nah, me neither. But it's a good tune.
Top 3 in the following countries. Deep breath. Australia, Canada, Croatia, France, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Spain, Switzerland, UK, and the USA.
The US of A.
The US of A. And they do a really good job. The girls basically just about get beaten. Our girls kind of get beaten by the fucking Vanderbilts, whatever. And then It's Tricky by Run DMC comes on.
Jesus.
And the boys do a job. I'd say the boys do a job.
Mate.
They don't. They don't do a job at all. They're fucking extras.
But that tune honestly takes me back to SSX Tricky. If it wasn't for that tune, oh my god. That was the game.
It's so funny you should mention that because it is on SSS Tricky. It's also on WWE 2016 Forza Horizons 3.
Jesus.
It was not quite as popular as the numbers that Crazy in Love did. 16th in the UK, 57 in the US, and 29 in West Germany. I need to stop doing these European voices. People are going to think I voted Brexit. I did not.
Yeah, you did, you
Son.
big kraut.
Well, I did eat all that sauerkraut on my fucking hot dog.
Oh, tricky. Takes you back, man. Cracking tune.
It is a
Cracking
great tune.
tune.
It's timeless. I think it's absolutely timeless. But it's not a beat that the sisters can match, is it? Like they struggle with the beat,
Yeah, they
and the
can't get it.
boys obviously
Yeah.
the boys are kind of like fucking Breaking is still a film. Man, Breaking's a good film.
Yeah, and they actually break. They were, at one point they were breakdancing, weren't they?
Yeah.
But try to get the origins of breakdance, because obviously the 80s breakdance was a big thing, but apparently it originated in New York City in the 60s and early 70s and incorporated a variety of moves, including martial arts and gymnastics.
Wow. Wow.
Has,
And a
has
lot
he
of
written them
lino.
apples? I know half you.
Apple
Remember your man used to
sauce,
be raging?
bitch.
God, remember people just walking about with rolls of lino
Yeah.
roaming the street with a
And a
ghetto
huge
blaster roll of lino.
beatbox. Yeah. Latrell has put these pills. I'm going to assume it was ecstasy. I'm going to assume they're eckies, right? That he's put in there.
Yes, I think so.
And yeah, and he puts them in an apple martini,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah.
is apple juice, vodka, and apple liqueur. Sounds fucking rank to me. And she changes them around, doesn't she? So he's like all the way down, and he drinks it all. Next thing, he's like, I've got to dance. Will you look after the dog? To fucking JTT's fucking melted candle face. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And JTT's going to kiss the dog, isn't he? He's like, yeah,
He's
I feel the
totally
same
will
way
that.
as you. And I'm kind of like, you fucking beast. You absolute fucking rapist.
Yeah, that
Go
was
away.
bad. That was really bad.
And as we kind of get to the end of that scene, Latrell is giving it the big fucking dancing moves. He's got his shirt off. He's got the whistle.
Oh,
He's giving
aye.
he's like Mike in Spaced. That
Aye.
episode of Spaced where Mike's it's
He's off his
brilliant.
tits.
Yeah. Karen's throwing up. Karen's drunk and throwing up, and she explains that the Vanderbilts are broke because her dad has lent Mr. Vanderbilt money.
Yeah, or Kevin's dad. Let's just call him Kevin's dad.
It is Kevin's dad. Yeah, it is Kevin's dad. So hang on a second. Is this man just a bad dad? Not bad dad from Adam and Joe, but is he a bad dad?
He's a bad person because he was the main baddie in Big as well with Tom Hanks. He was a bit of a prick.
He is. For a second or two, I thought he was also the dad in Beetlejuice, but he isn't. That's Jeffrey Jones, the paedophile.
Can't get
he is a bad dad.
He's a really bad dad.
He's a terrible dad.
He's a bad
And
dad to everybody's kids. Aye.
Oh, Jesus. 1 bunch, 2 bunch, 3 banana.
Yeah, come
Great
on.
scene. It's a
When
great
go to
scene.
prison. That really is.
We wake up the next day, and Latrell rolls over to stroke the hair of the girl he's with, but it's JTT. It's not even JTT. I don't even know what JTT's doing these days, but it's not him. Let's reach out to him on Twitter and see if he's okay with us saying this ugly man is him. Gina turns up at the hotel. She's checking the whole suite, and Kevin's running around dressed in his outfit as his alter ego, and basically runs in a fucking circle around the thing. As he leaves the room, it's like, there she is, like, her friend, there's the bitch. I was like, yes. Meanwhile, the real Tiffany and Brittany have seen the paper where the boys have been photographed doing the dance. So they head to the hotel where they're taken in for questioning, and the feds basically try and pull the masks off and pull their hair, and then pull down their tops and pants, and they get suspended.
Yeah, do an Ace Ventura.
Mr. Winky! Yeah, I'm not okay with that Ace Ventura thing. I'm kind of okay with this because it's women, but I'm still not okay with that Ace Ventura thing. Yeah. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Vanderbilt and Heath, who is this character that Karen really, really loves, who is going out with one of the Vanderbilts, have a deal that they're going to do. They're like smoking cigars and drinking brandy because that's what bad people do.
Oh god, yeah, yeah.
I like a brandy. The boys get a call from Josh, the prince on the ransom note. So Josh is the guy that comes in and makes them up. The prince on the
Yeah.
ransom note are Vanderbilts. So they get a call from Josh. They've been sacked by the chief at this point, and they're just driving back in the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
The prince on the ransom note are the Vanderbilts. Now, the music at this point is Let's Get It Started by the Black Eyed Peas.
Right.
And I said to Rachel last night, I'm certain there was a version of this which had the R word in it. And then I Googled it, found it on YouTube, and there is. Instead of Let's Get It Started, it's Let's Get R word, which obviously
Oh
we don't,
really?
R slur. Yeah, it's on fucking YouTube. How has
Jesus.
that not been flagged as being just fucking atrocious? And I knew it. I think I kind of knew it from the Harold and Kumar film.
I didn't even
Maybe.
know that. I didn't even. I
Yeah.
didn't
Let's get it R worded. Let's get R worded in here. Doesn't even work in any way. Again, I'm always amazed at how recently we were using the R word in these things. Fuck. So, like, it's really jarring to me. It's like any kind of homosexual slur.
Hmm.
It's still really jarring to me. Like in 2022. They call the sacked feds to help. Meanwhile, they've got this thing, isn't it? The Janet Reno thing. Is it RuPaul or is it Whoopi? Who would you rather do, RuPaul or Whoopi? Who would you rather do, John? RuPaul or Whoopi?
Oh, Whoopi! Oh, Whoopi all the way. I was brought up with Whoopi.
Whoopi's funnier, and I
Yes.
probably would because I think she's very, very funny.
Yeah.
But RuPaul, girl has got some
Legs,
legs.
legs for
Woof.
days, legs for days. But
Legs
yeah,
for
I, I,
fucking
I,
days.
I do remember. I know it's going to sound a bit weird, but I remember when I was younger, we went to see Ghost, and even though Whoopi Goldberg was playing like a grifter in it, a bit of a shyster, I thought,
Yeah.
oh, she's all right. Don't know
But
why.
but that's but that's no, John. I know why. That's because you're a Ouija and you love that shit. but but boys love that shit. What can I say? I did miss actually. One of the earlier things is who would you rather sleep with, Carmen Electra or Pamela Anderson? And I'm kind of like, it's an easy choice for
Oh,
me.
I'm a
What
brunette
about
kind of
you?
guy.
I know,
Brunette.
yeah, so am I really. Yeah, I like blondes, but Pam.
If just watch Barbed Wire and get one free.
Have
rub,
you
rub
have you
rub
seen
out that free one.
have you been watching the Pam and Tommy thing?
No, no, no yet.
It's
But it's
great. Like she looks 100% uh, like
Pam
90s Pam.
Anderson. Oh,
And
good.
the acting is exceptional. Your man still looks like the fucking Winter Soldier, but
Aye,
it's astonishing. Like I had no idea it was her until
yeah.
somebody told me 2 episodes in it was her. I was like,
Oh
what?
well.
It's Lily Collins? No chance. Yeah, she's very good. But here's the catch, John. They've both got yeast infections.
Oh right, okay.
And the joke is that women, don't have sex with women with yeast. I don't think you should. So I did some digging. I'm now banned from using my work computer for these things. A yeast infection, a vaginal yeast infection, because I can't look at you with this. And ladies, I promise I'm not going to make this a joke. I promise. If we have any women listeners still left, causes irritation, discharge, and intense itchiness of the vagina and the vulva. Not to be confused with the David Williams character out of Spaced. Two space references in one. How do you
Wow.
clear it up? Caniston once over the counter in the UK. Get some of that up your bits, ladies. Ladies? Where are you going, ladies?
Ladies,
Come back.
where you
I
going? Where
promise.
you going?
Home remedies, John. I googled this. Fucking home remedies. Essential oil of oregano, in case you want your bits to smell of pasta sauce. Coconut oil, which will obviously be bountiful. And Greek yogurt. Because
Right.
we're a public service podcast, ladies, we want you to make sure you get whatever sorted. Do what you want with your bodies. Do what you want with your bodies. Nothing to do with us. But please, please look after yourselves. And then, please, rate and review us.
It's Lily
You
James,
need
no
to.
Lily Collins.
Ah, well, it's all the same.
Potato.
We'll
They
let
don't care.
somebody pick us up on. We've
Yeast
mate, we've
infections,
lost all our fucking female listeners with yeast infection
Yeast
shite
infection.
anyway. So.
Oh, you're giving them advice, though.
So they head back because they're going to be able to fix this. They go to this all-white fucking party where everyone's dressed in fucking white. Looks like right tennis wankers. The boys are in the fashion show. Heath tries to crack on to Karen, and he's like, "Oh yeah, come round at like 3 a.m. after Heather has left." And she's like, "I deserve better than being a doormat." And he's like, "Honey, what makes you that special?" And I was like, "Oh, I fucking hate you."
Nah, he's a wee prick, isn't he?
Because she's lovely and beautiful and powerful woman.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus punches him and says, "You are really special." She's like, "You're not a lesbian, are you?" The show starts, and the music for the show took me right fucking back. I was right back in. It was Junior Senior. Do you remember this number?
Yeah, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, that takes you
Same
back,
summer,
doesn't it?
Move Your Feet. Same summer as Crazy in Love. Danish band. The last time I put this on was when me and Tom were watching the Euros, watching Denmark versus whoever. When your man, the Danish player, had the heart attack. I'd looked up Denmark versus Finland, and I'd looked up Danish and Finnish bands because there's fucking loads of them, and put on loads of numbers. And then we watched the game, and it's kind of like, ooh, this is really grim. But luckily, he survived, and he's just been called up to the Denmark squad again. Hans doing all right. Danish band, number 3 in the UK. It was his best performing slot. It didn't do any better than number 3 in the UK anywhere else in Europe, which is amazing. The girls, or the guys as the girls, look fantastic, but the real twins have turned up.
And stuck a couple of swans in.
your man decides to put them in the outfits. The Vanderbilts have put them in these swan outfits. Now, did you recognise the swan outfit, John?
Something clicked in my head, but what was it?
It was Bjork.
Oh God, so was.
Do you remember?
Bjork,
She was.
yeah,
She was at the. She was at the Oscars, 2001 Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she was wearing that when she battered that photographer in the airport.
No.
Do you remember Bjork battering a photographer in the airport? But yeah, 2001 Oscars ceremony. She said the look was a tribute to the Busby Berkeley musicals. She was nominated for the song "I've Seen It All" because she was in Dancer in the Dark. Do you remember that? It's a good film. It's a really good film. No, you're thinking Dancing in the Dark. It's very different. She lost Best Original Song to Bob Dylan for a song called "The History Boys" from the film of the same name.
Right.
It's the History Boys. They're better than Geography Girls. And they're smoking round the back of the fucking bank sheds. And they're at the parking meters. Yeah.
You love him then?
I don't. He's fucking shite. He's shite music for fucking morons. People who don't like fucking electric music. People who think music should always be played on acoustic guitars. Busking wankers on fucking Socky Hall Street.
Like Fatboy Slim. What a wanker.
Yeah, sure.
He was busking on Socky Hall Street.
When?
There's a video about it. She was.
He's like the other day.
No,
You're gonna fucking miss Glasgow, man.
I know.
Fatboy Slim's never busked on fucking at Stirling. I'm telling
Stirling,
you.
I know.
Fatboy Slim has never been caught at the fucking chip shop in Bridge of Allen. I can tell you that for sure. With the twins at the same time as the boys, and it's this kind of funny kind of Keystone Cops thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like they kind of mix it up, and then there's it's the same, like it's the the
One in,
undercover fed that's meant to be the twin and the twin. They look nothing like.
I know.
Well, you don't like him, kind of thing. The Vanderbilts try and drop blood on everybody and fail miserably, and they get covered. It's like Carrie, isn't it? And it's the same line
Carrie,
from
that's
Carrie, isn't it? Yeah, it's really
yeah,
good.
yeah.
But it lands on them, and this guy stands up and he's applauding. So bold, so beautiful. I was going, okay, I like that. The real twins are on the catwalk, and this Chinese dragon shows up and steals them away, doesn't it? Kind of goes around them, and it's the Vanderbilt plan to do so. If you like Chinese dragons, we talked a lot about them on our Darkman episode.
Darkman, yeah.
Which also has melting face masks.
Yeah, yeah. Darkman. God.
Oh,
Seems
the
like a lifetime
Darkman.
ago. Yeah,
It does seem like a long time ago. Vanderbilt holds a gun to the twins. And someone says, oh, he's absolutely skint. And the Vanderbilt sisters hear that. It's like, are we MC Hammer broke or Martha Stewart broke? And that's where it comes in. Martha Stewart, by the way, used to be worth over $1 billion. She's now worth only $400,000.
Wow.
Poor
Jesus.
Martha. How does she fucking survive?
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, absolutely. He shoots Marcus, but before he can, Luttrell jumps in front of him, hits the bullet, and saves my love. And he takes the mask off, doesn't it? And he's like, you are... He says, yeah, I'm a dude. No, you're black.
You're black.
The betrayal. he's like, Negro, please. And then he says, get this slur away from me.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say this,
say it.
but this was this jarred me to fuck. This J slur, which I knew and I'd heard, but it's one of these really old,
it's an old school
kind
one.
of black slur. I was like, wow. Gina spots that it's Kevin dressed as a woman, and Kevin explains to the reporter that he's an FBI agent, not a ball player, and he only earns $30,000 a year. That's really shit money.
It really is for FBI.
I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not saying I do okay, but I earn more than $30,000 a year, and I'm not fucking FBI. But I guess we're nearly 20 years on, potentially. Marcus tells Gina that he's guilty of not being more into his job than he is into her. I kind of got you that. Luttrell's leaving with both sisters, the real sisters. And the boys are going shopping with the girls. Oh, because the girls say, we liked you a lot more than we liked the twins.
The boys, the girls.
Yeah,
sorry, yeah.
and I was kind of like,
good.
that's kind of sweet. And that's the end of the movie. Anything else?
No, I'm clean out.
Lactose intolerance, John. People with lactose intolerance are unable to fully digest the sugar, lactose in milk. As a result, they shat themselves, gas themselves, or bloat themselves after eating, drinking any dairy products. The condition, which is also called lactose malabsorption, usually harmless, but the symptoms can be very uncomfortable. Not that I know anything about that, of course, being a man who cannot digest dairy. Burberry, Jennifer Carpenter was wearing... I'm Jennifer Carpenter obsessed. Jennifer Carpenter was wearing Burberry in this, fully head to toe. British luxury fashion house headquartered in London. Currently designs, distributes ready-to-wear, including trench coats, which is most famous. Leather goods, brackets, fine leather goods. Treat yourself! Footwear, fashion accessories, eyewear, fragrances, and cosmetics. Has seen a sharp decline in UK sales due to the popularity of its trademark camel check among so-called chavs and neds. Pejorative term for low-income social groups, obsessed with brand names, cheap jewellery, and football. That bit is written by our researcher, not by me. How fucking dare you? We all wear fucking North Face, you dick.
Everybody knows that. For the wind
Everybody knows that. I am going to sack the researcher, and it's going back to me. That is all I got, son.
Right. Okay.
Oh, I missed one thing. There's one thing, and I just picked up on this, and it
Just
reminded me
thing.
of one particular. Just one more film reference. Right. This reminded me of a film that I watched with my dad and my stepmom. I thought it was in the 80s, but it turns out it's in the early 90s. Does the film True Identity ring any bells, John?
Lenny Henry.
And nobody
Lenny,
else
Lenny,
has been able
Lenny.
to tell me
Lenny,
they
Lenny,
knew
Lenny.
True
Yeah,
Identity.
yeah.
1991 American comedy film starring Lenny Henry. Frank Langella is in it.
Flanklanders.
Maudlanders. The plot revolves around Lenny Henry as a black man who disguises himself as a white man to escape the mob. Lenny Henry Lenny Henry commented on the film retrospectively in 2010. When I went to America to do True Identity, I realised they had their own Richard Pryor. They didn't need me pretending to be Richard Pryor. So I had a massive career rethink.
No, wait, okay, but it wasn't that
The
good, to be
film
honest.
was a box office disaster.
I thought it might, but I've
Yeah.
seen it. I have seen it.
And it was another one of those things like, let's get the R word. Have I imagined that? Do I?
Good memory though. True Identity. Jesus.
John, how many do you think we got?
78.
Higher.
79.
Higher.
70, 10.
Higher.
80, 89.
Higher.
What? 99.
Higher.
What? 103.
109. John, how did we get 109 things from
I
that?
have no clue.
I think from that.
I was worried about
109
that
things.
purely because Legally Blonde, because it's had the same sort of feel about it and the same sort of locations. But yeah, that worked. Bloody
I,
hell,
for
109.
one, have got to thank Louis Vuitton, Wilt Chamberlain, and Colonic Irrigations.
Yes. Flush it out.
Shit.
When in doubt, flush it out.
Again, I think that's probably another Spaced reference. Suck it in, flash it out. Right, John, where can the lovely people find you that is not this podcast?
So I'm hoping that we're going to be doing some of the quizzes for Divided by a Common Language with the Belsons and the Wilsons. So hopefully we're getting that done soon. What about your good self? Where can we find you? Or where can't we find you?
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I am going to be shortly, in the next month or so, talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi with Ian at Cult Connections Reviews.
Okay.
I am going to be very shortly on What I Heard Was with Jen, who we're going to be doing a few bits and pieces together. Some surprises coming very, very soon. You are going to find me around about now, on the weird thing about that podcast, talking about celebrities and being very fucking filthy, as if I'm not filthy enough on this. It is sheer fucking filth, that one. And I'm going to be all over the shop, but I've had a bit of a break recently. But yeah, I'll be back all over the shop, and we've got a few other kind of like hidden things that are going to be happening shortly that we're both going to be involved in.
Yeah.
I've had a great time with this, John. I've put this film off for so long, and I really shouldn't have done.
Are you glad you did it? Are you glad you took the plunge?
Yeah, I'm really glad. I'm really glad I took the plunge. Absolutely. Right, look, we will be back next week with more fucking nonsense. Until then, he's been John Boy. I've been Planty. We've been 109 things we learned from the white chicks. The white chicks, like the Facebook and the TikToks.
And the Google.
See ya.
See ya.